Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to my podcast, In My House. You are in for a special treat today. I've got my friend Erika here today, and we are going to talk about everything nursing, from what does it mean to be a good nurse? What kind of nursing jobs are out there for me? What's going to fit my personality the best? And then also, like, what should I wear to my first day of nursing? What should I put on my feet? These little feeties that are going to march me around all day. And then also, we might need a couple of fact checkers. So if you hear anything that we're saying today, I hate to admit it, but put it in the comments. Give us something to improve on. We're always into learning more. You are in it for a treat right now. Erika has been a nurse for 12 years. She is my personal best friend. And she's one of the funniest ladies that I know.
Aw,
it's
thank
true.
you.
And one of the most beautiful. I know you guys can't see her face right now, but I'm looking right at her in her eyes, and I'm loving everything I see.
It's a face for radio.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. And you, Jordan, you've also been a nurse for 8 years.
True.
So you are just as seasoned as I. I feel like once you hit the 5-year mark, you've kind of got it all down.
It's true. It's true. What do we often tell people who are in their first year of nursing? We often tell them that if you're not terrified, then I don't trust you.
Yeah. If you're not terrified, you haven't been here long enough.
It's true. The new nurse who isn't scared is dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You should be terrified.
Should be scared a little bit.
Yeah.
You've got people's lives. You're saving lives and making a difference. You need to know what kind of a responsibility that you have in your hands.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. All right. Should we just get into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this thing. So today we are talking about different kinds of nurses, different ways of being a nurse for people who are wondering, okay, I want to be a nurse, but I don't really, I don't know what fits my personality. What kind of nursing is going to fit me?
With nursing, you can find a job that suits your personality wherever you want, whatever kind of job you think you want, you can find that in the scope of nursing. So let's play a game. Let's play nursing job roulette. So I want you to pick a part of the body, an adrenaline level, what you like your heart rate to be, and a place that you would like to practice in.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see here. I am interested in my heart. Oh. And let's say I really love that intensity level, like high intensity. I want somewhere where I am, always on my toes, using my brain. Absolutely. And let's say I want to work in Hawaii.
Okay. I think you would be a great travel nurse in Hawaii in the cardiac ICU.
Bam.
Days off, go to the beach. Days on, save some lives. Squeeze someone's heart with your bare hands.
With my bare hand. Well, I'd probably put gloves on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation.
Nobody has diseases in
Nobody
Hawaii.
has diseases in Hawaii. That's why they're there. I don't know. That's not a real thing. I don't know if we should fact check that. But I also want to know, so what's a travel nurse? What does that mean?
So travel nursing, you can get with a company and you can do like anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months to a contract. You get paid a lot more than typical nursing because they know that you're up and leaving and going to a place. They pay for housing. They pay you a stipend, like daily stipend. And then you can say, I want to be 6 weeks in Hawaii. You still do your 3 shifts. And then you, on your days off, you're in that place. You're in Hawaii. So you could do Bermuda. You could do Phoenix, Arizona. You can do North Dakota if that's your jam.
If that's my jam. I love that. I love that the flexibility is there. I could really work wherever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, round 2, listeners, get ready. I am a mom, and let's say I want to work with kids. I am not into the fast-paced lifestyle. I just want to do my job. I want to go home, and let's say I want to work in my hometown.
Okay, you could work for the school district and be at the same school as your kids. Do flu shots. You can do diabetes education to those little kids that are newly diagnosed. You can be out in the school system, have the same hours as your kids do, address whatever needs need to be met with children, and then be home at the same time as your kids are every day.
That sounds amazing, especially if I've got a young family. I think that sounds like a really good gig. I feel like if you're out there and let's say, I feel like nursing, when people talk about nursing, they think about like ER, they think
Right.
about those high intensity situations, Nurse Jackie, where she's just like running here and there,
Yeah.
like she doesn't have time to deal with her back pain in a nice way. I think that slower paced nursing job, maybe like you're in a clinic as well.
Yeah, you could do pediatric clinic where you kind of deal with all the kids coming in, flu season, treat them, and then go home to your family at the end of the day.
I love that.
Yeah.
Another nursing job where you're a little slower paced, like home health. You can go and, see people in their homes, administer their medications that they need where they can't, maybe leave or come to the hospital, or maybe they've been to the hospital so many times, they know their regimen. It's better for them to be at home. Home nursing.
Clinic nursing, school nursing. Yeah.
I bet that home nursing people, do you think that they ever run into hoarder situations?
Oh, absolutely.
Constantly.
Can you imagine going into people's homes and seeing how they live?
Ooh, I don't know if I want to.
I kind of would love it. Maybe I'll go into home health nursing.
Oh my gosh. I think that I am happy for them to come to me in the hospital where it's clean.
Yes.
All right. Let's do one more roulette.
Okay.
Let's say I don't really want to interact with people who are awake. I don't want to bond with my patients. I don't want to talk to them a whole lot. But I do I do like that blood and gore kind of. I do like the sticks, I guess. What kind of nursing is there for me?
So you could do trauma bay in the emergency department where you get the unconscious car wreck that's coming in. You got to stabilize them before they get whisked off to surgery.
Yes.
You could do OR nursing where your patients are sedated and you're just helping with the surgery and helping with the blood and guts part of it. You could do pathology.
Okay.
Your patients are dead.
Dead people.
They don't talk to you. You're
what
alone.
If they are, there's something wrong.
Then you have to switch careers.
Right.
Immediately.
you need to become a medium.
Yes,
actually.
Absolutely.
That's the actual career choice that you
Clairvoyance would actually be completely helpful.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine like reading everybody's minds around you? Like, oh, you're going to need saline stitches and a bedpan. Then you just like have it there.
Yep. Labor and delivery. Your baby is going to be born tomorrow at 1,300, 8 pounds, 9 ounces. Needs to go to the NICU. It's going to be a bummer.
I'm feeling a letter T. T in the room? Anybody? T. Is that for baby Terrence? Maybe?
I'm naming my baby Terrence.
Oh my gosh.
You're good at this.
I know. I'm very good at this. Nursing is for everybody. You don't have to be the person who's cleaning up people, after they've had an accident. You don't have to be the person who is, helping them walk or really even touching people a whole lot anyway. I love this aspect of nursing where you can be in the OR and you don't have to really talk to a lot of people besides your coworkers, really.
Now, I work in labor and delivery, and I love that part of it because it's fast-paced, it's intense, it's got its downtime, it's got its sweet moments, it's got its sad moments, which, believe it or not, are kind of part of the gig, and I actually really like that part. The other part I love is these patients are in my life, and then they're out of my life. And then I don't ever have to see them again.
Quick in and out.
Yeah.
Right.
So I see their lady bits. They're embarrassed about it. Nobody's going to say anything. And then they're gone. Forever.
What
until
do
they get pregnant again.
And I actually already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask you because I want to see you answer it.
Okay.
Do people poop in labor?
Do you want the real answer or
Yes.
the answer that the
Real
ladies
talk
who
right
are
now.
currently pregnant want to hear?
I want you to tell me the real answer.
Everybody poops in labor.
Everybody poops?
Everybody. Unless you've been drinking clears for 3 days leading up to your labor, everybody poops in labor.
Unless you've been eating celery and water.
Also, if you feel like you have to poop in labor, it's probably actually just you needing to have a baby.
Oh, perfect.
Turns out.
So like when people are like, I have to poop, you're like, what do you say?
You have to have a baby.
Incorrect. You're having a baby.
But sometimes they actually poop, and then I'm like, oh, that's weird, but okay.
I'll pretend like this never happened. What about like what I guess what's the most asked question when you're helping somebody have their baby that they ask you
Before the baby comes out
hmm
or after?
before?
Before, well, I mean, before they have a baby, they ask me if they're going to poop.
Really?
Yeah. And do
That's
you know
the
what I
most
tell
asked
them?
what?
Absolutely not.
You're a
No.
really good nurse. You're a very good nurse.
Thank you.
You're very good at your job.
When I became a new nurse, it was very hard to figure out if I was doing a good job. I knew I didn't know a lot yet. I had a lot of good mentors that helped me along the way, but I like to ask seasoned nurses, what is your perspective on how to be a good nurse? What are let's say, the top 3 qualities on how to be the best nurse when you're new?
I think that honing your skills at reading a room, being what your patient needs you to be in that moment. So sometimes your patient needs you to be a cheerleader. Sometimes they need you to be high energy. Everything's going to be fine and it's going to be great. And you didn't poop. It's fine. And then other times your patient needs you to be somber with them and really take the time to feel with them what they're feeling. Maybe they're not going through something that's happy. Maybe they're going through something that's really hard and they don't need someone to tell them it's going to be fine. They need someone to tell them it's okay to feel the feelings that they're having.
I love that.
As a new nurse, I think we touched on this a little bit already, but to be a good nurse, you need to have good mentors. And the only way to do that is ask questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question in nursing. There's no such thing as you should already have known this, or why don't you already know this? People who don't ask questions are scary.
I agree. I think some of the most questionable new nurses I've had are the ones that think they already know everything and don't ask for a second opinion when they think something's strange.
Right. Or they don't ask for help. When you haven't seen that new nurse in a really long time, you're kind of like, oh, where's Callie? Where's she been? Haven't seen her in 8 hours. Better check on her. Something's going on. And let's see, third quality and a good nurse. I think poker face, neutral expression.
It's a good one.
For sure. I think that there needs to be a national movement towards free Botox for nurses.
Absolutely.
So that we may maintain our neutral faces.
Yeah. When someone poops in a delivery, you can't squint your eyebrows. No, because nobody pooped.
Good thing I can't anymore. Good thing I no longer have the ability to squinch my eyebrows.
That Botox was self-pay, though.
Yes, I know. I should have gotten on that.
We'll change the world.
We're going to change the world, one Botox nurse at a time. But truly, I mean, I feel like, recently I had a situation where there was somebody taking pictures in my patient's room and my face was neutral, but her children's faces behind me were terrified. They were just standing behind me like, ah, oh my gosh. And the photographer showed me those pictures and I was just like, look at me.
Everything's fine. There's nothing weird here.
Nothing silly happening here. I was doing a great job. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think top 2 ways that you can best serve your patient?
So I would say too, I mean, an important thing about this is that it takes time to develop all these skills. And if you go into it with an open mind and knowing that you don't have to prove yourself, and you've got a whole team of people who are trying to help you become a good nurse and trying to help you hone your skills, and know that you can ask everybody, it takes a lot of the pressure off right away.
Definitely.
And just knowing that it takes years to really figure everything out and to figure out how to approach a situation that you've never been in before. And mostly that there's a lot of camaraderie around nursing. And everybody's got your back. And if you're in a unit that doesn't, you might
go work somewhere else.
Yeah.
If you're on a unit or if you're at a place where people are not working as a team and are not supporting each other, then I think that's probably the best advice, because I think a lot of new nurses are they don't know what to expect. So if things aren't, if the teamwork isn't there, if the camaraderie is not there, then they don't know any better. And they get stuck on these units and then they get jaded, or they hate their job, or they feel like things are not safe and they don't feel like they can speak up. And if that's the case, find a new job.
Yeah. And just know that we've got you. We know that these things take time, and everybody's doing their best to try and be the best at their job that they can be.
Right. There's nobody who like suffered through nursing school, suffered through like the rigmarole of having to develop care plans to be like a crappy nurse. Like everybody wants to be the best nurse that they can be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I remember in my first year hearing the phrase that nurses eat their young. And I remember being so scared. Like I remember being just like feeling like if I ask a question, and I feel like this is really typical because in nursing school, there's kind of this culture of like, you need to know these things or else your patient could die. Like you need to know about
the fear.
Yeah, they put the fear in you, which is healthy. There needs to be a healthy amount of fear, but there also needs to be this understanding that that it's okay to be afraid and just ask for help.
Yeah.
Always ask for help.
That being said, it's good to know what your personality is and know where you fit in, because stronger personalities tend to coagulate on the more intense units, and they thrive there. They do great there.
They thrive
there. But if you're timid and quiet, and you might get eaten alive. You have to kind of know what you're capable of and what your personality is like to kind of hone in where you fit in the mix.
Exactly. I always, whenever anybody asks me, like, should I go to nursing school? I think, yes, but probably have like work as a CNA, work as an MA, work in the medical field in some kind of a capacity, or maybe your job is being a waitress. I don't know. Work somewhere where you're serving people and where you can kind of, where you're on the spot, I guess, and you're in charge of this person's care and maybe their experience with you, and kind of learn how to build a rapport and learn how to make people trust you like very quickly.
Test yourself. Test yourself in hard situations and know how you respond.
And always
I think that's great advice.
Never be afraid to ask your elder nurses.
Your elders.
Your elders.
Are we elders?
I am an elder.
I think I am too.
I am such an elder right now.
That's a little terrifying that we're the elders.
Like a little bit. Like I'm the one that people are coming to when they're in a tight spot, which it is true. Both of us work as charge nurses on the unit that we work on. So a charge nurse, and basically what that means is you're the leader of the unit for the day, right? You're the boss of the unit. Yeah. What does being a charge nurse mean to you, Erika?
So it's a different role, which I actually quite like, how we have different roles within the same unit. So we do triage, we do charging, we do bedside nursing, all within the same unit. So charging, you don't take a patient and you're in charge of the inflow of patients coming onto the unit, assigning them to nurses, getting patients that the doctors are bringing onto the unit. It just kind of traffic flow and functioning of the unit, managing emergencies. I mean, it's more of I guess you could call it a managerial role.
Right.
Between everybody.
But for everybody. And I know this as well, that it can be, people will come to you with everything. Like, my computer's not working in my room. I can't chart. What do I do? How do I help
I need 10 units of blood products and this weird machine that I've never heard of. And we're going to the OR because this lady's dying right now. Right. Also, my computer's not working.
Also, the computer in the OR is not working. Yeah. And you're just like, I don't have time to unplug and replug everything back in.
But that's part of the role, right? Is triage. What is the most important thing that has to be done the fastest, and then kind of going from there and seeing who needs to wait. It's like having children.
Right.
You have 100 things that need to be done. Which one do you need to be done first? Who's going to die? Which one's life or death? None of them perfect. We're good.
None of them perfect. We're done here. There have been so many times where I've been in charge and a computer or something's not working, and I'll call IT on a weekend to come and fix it, and it'll be like a loose, like something like just wasn't plugged cable in. Yes. And then I'm like, oh, you're welcome for like that $500 like weekend overtime pay. You're welcome. Like, I didn't have time to do it. I was too busy saving her life and making a difference.
I was doing chest compressions.
Sorry.
I'm sorry I didn't check the cord.
I didn't have a free hand.
Hate IT.
I hate IT. And it's not.
I'm sorry, IT.
Yeah, sorry for
If
all
anyone
of you
out there
IT.
is an RT and wants to go into nursing, I think you should.
You
Because
should-
IT is a terrible job.
Well, and it's so. I want them to follow me around for a day. And like when they come up and they're like, how come you didn't turn this on and turn it back off again? I'll be like, why don't you follow me around and I'll show you why. Because there's some other things going on right now. Mr. IT.
Mr. IT man.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for coming.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Derek,
Fixing
for
that.
coming and helping me figure out my computer. Because I don't know.
What do you think is your least favorite part of nursing?
My least favorite part of nursing.
On a daily basis.
On a
Let's start
daily
daily
basis.
and then we can go broader.
Let's see. I think IT.
That's what I was going to say.
That's my least favorite part of nursing. When like you have 20 things to do and your computer won't work.
Mhm.
So now we do these like safety checks with medications where we'll scan the patient's wristband to make sure it's them. And then we'll scan the medication to make sure it's really ordered. And then before we put it in their body. And I will like, if the scanner isn't working and I just need to give them a Tylenol, just like, and then you find yourself like walking out of the room and you're like all sweaty and it's like over Tylenol. Like,
Well,
why?
and it's funny because you could do like a true emergent, baby's dying, crash to the OR, cut the baby out, everyone, save lives. But the thing that will get me the most riled up, like the most where I want to walk off my job is if something won't scan or a pump won't work.
It's just like
out.
beeping and you're like, or like when the pump says that there's air in the line and there's no air in the line. There's never air in the line. And if there is any air in the line, that amount of air in the line is not going to kill them. So just let it through. Like, oh my gosh.
I can tell that's a really...
No, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm not upset. You're upset. I'm not sweaty. You're sweaty. Oh,
Bring it down.
sorry.
Okay.
Excuse
Are
me.
you okay?
I'm fine.
Me
Are you
too.
okay?
I'm fine. I just don't want to think about anything.
I don't want to think about IT anymore, Erika. It's the bane of my existence.
I know. If we could go back to like no charting,
No gloves.
no
No charting,
no
no
computers,
gloves, no problem.
no beeping machines,
No beeping machines. Probably
just
more
front
moaning.
lines, World War II, legs cut off, stop the
Exploded.
bleeding. That's my kind.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Stop the bleeding, move on.
Mhm.
No.
What is your favorite thing about nursing?
My favorite part about nursing. I think I say this in jest a lot, but I really think it's true, is saving lives and making a difference. Like there is no better feeling than like when you've like dumped like all the blood products that the blood bank has to offer into this patient. And then like a couple of days later, they like walk past your desk and you're like,
Mhm.
whoa, hey.
I saw you and you were dead.
Oh my God, you were dying.
Look at you walking around.
Like a second ago.
You look great.
You look
Oh
amazing.
my gosh,
Have
your
you had
cheeks are
work
all
done? Yes.
All that blood I put into you really did the trick. You look awesome.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would
How
recommend.
you feeling? Great? Great.
It's the best mask anyone ever put on.
I love it when nobody can get the IV and you like run in and you just dart it and it's in and beautiful, and then you run in the blood and you just feel like, I did that. That was close. I'm really glad that worked.
Or like when a really esteemed doctor will walk by. Like the other day I had one of the anesthesiologists walk by and it was like days later and she was like, Jordan, really great job on that IV on that really low blood pressure patient the other day. And I was like, you're welcome. You're welcome. I did that. You're right. I'm so good at that. I'm doing amazing.
No. I would say my favorite thing, which is along the lines of the saving lives thing, is I love emergencies. I love that adrenaline rush. I love knowing what to do. I love sounding the alarm, getting your team back there, well-oiled machine, and like making that happen. And I know that it's terrifying for anyone who's not doing that on a daily basis. The patient's terrified, but it's just like that rush. I love it until it's like the 8th one, and then I'm just annoyed.
And then I'm just tired. I'm just exhausted.
Like another one.
Another life saved. Okay. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about like dumping blood into people. the emergency aspect of it are kind of our favorite parts. But let's take it in a little bit of a different direction here. What about nursing wardrobe?
Ooh.
What? Yes.
Do you mean lack of a wardrobe?
Do you mean pajamas? Do you mean getting to wear pajamas to your work every single day?
Here's the deal. When I'm not working, I'm in yoga pants, athleisure wear. And when I am working, I'm in a looser form of athleisure wear. So it fits my lifestyle perfectly. The thing about our unit is because we circulate in the OR, they do our laundry for us because it has to be specially cleaned. It can't be from outside. So I have never bought a pair of scrubs in my life. I've never washed a pair of scrubs in my life. I can change midday when I've got puke and blood and guts on them. There's this little machine. It's like a little vending machine.
Yeah.
New scrubs.
Oh my gosh.
So I do my laundry at work. Work does my laundry for me.
That's amazing.
I do get a little jealous of the cute nurses that come in with like their little jogger scrubs and their little pockets, and they're all customized and embroidered.
Oh, the pockets.
So cute.
So cute.
I'd say you really get to show off your flair with your footwear.
Absolutely.
What's your choice of nursing footwear?
I feel like my taste in nursing footwear has changed over the years. I used to be a Dansko girl. For you audience members, Danskos are like a very supportive shoe designed to be on your feet all day.
If you look at a picture of an old lady nurse,
that's what she's wearing. She's wearing Danskos.
They're white.
Well, mine were cute. Mine were patent leather, sparkly. They were amazing. But I am now kind of into like a croc moccasins. My best advice for those who are, because I feel like shoes are a big deal. Like, what am I going to want to wear and be on my feet all day long in? Yeah. I say, rather than shoes, invest in a good pair of compression socks for sure.
Okay.
And wear any kind of shoe that you're okay with getting DNA on.
Yeah.
if they're like DNA will get in, on, and around your shoes. Yeah. So don't wear anything too cute that you don't want to ruin.
Also, don't wear anything that you're not willing. You can't bring it home.
No.
You leave that at work.
They're your work shoes.
Those shoes are not allowed in the house. So those are work shoes. This might be a little controversial, but I like my Brooks running shoes.
Oh.
They are mesh because I'm running around and I need like some airflow.
Breathability.
But there was an incident where a giant, probably baseball-sized clot just of blood, that's what a clot is. It's made of blood. Just right on top of my shoe, like soaked in between my toes.
There's just no coming back from that.
It's not, but there are a lot of hand washing stations. I just rinsed it out, and I just kind of had to be like, well, there's blood in my toes. So that's probably fine.
This looks professional.
I'll just let these air dry. And I'm not taking them home anyway.
What did you wear while they were wet?
I just put an OR booty over my barefoot. And then I stayed away from everyone that had needles in their hands because I didn't want to drop them on my feet. That's also, you shouldn't do that. You'll get in trouble.
Yeah. For those of you who are listening right now, like your nurse could be wandering around the hospital barefoot with nothing but a booty on.
Because of you patients.
Because you and your clots. Oh.
So, I mean, you make your own choices.
Yeah.
I'm not here to tell you what to wear on your feet.
You make your own choices. I will say, though, compression socks all day long.
So why? I honestly don't wear compression socks.
You don't?
I never have. So talk me into it.
Oh, my goodness. I'm about to change your life.
I hope so. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a riveting
conversation
about
compression socks. So basically, it just helps your circulation with your feet. So it helps that the blood in your body doesn't get stuck down in your feet forever, and it comes back up.
Perfect.
Your venous return is what it's helping with. And it just helps with your foot fatigue. So like if your feet get tired like halfway through the day, or sometimes people's like legs will get tired. Yeah. Like there's a lot of like lady here. Like I don't know, like listeners, you can't see me, but for those of you who can, like there's a lot of like Jordan like here like on these two little feeties like all day long. And like look at these shoes I'm wearing right now. Like I would never wear those on the unit. They are not comfortable, and I don't have any socks on, so that's terrible also. But it's helping keep your feet fresh essentially. And maybe not smell wise, but like your tissues.
We'll see.
You should try it. I will say though, if you get compression socks that are too too tight. You take them off at the end of the day. And it's like, did you ever do this with your hand when you were like a kid? You like took
Yes.
like got all the blood out of your hand and then let it come back. Like, but it's like pins and needles. Like that's how it is if your compression socks are too tight. So just
I feel like those would be good for night shifters.
Absolutely.
Which we can talk about night shift.
We absolutely, it's a big part of our job.
You still work night shifts. I
do.
worked them for 10 years and I don't do it anymore. But I feel like night shifts have a bad rap, but they also have a lot of pros and
There's pros and cons to everything, right? But the thing to remember is there are pros to night shift. There are pros to night shift. You just have to see them. You have to work night shift to know what they are.
So tell me, what are the pros?
Pros to night shifts. There are less people in the hospital in general. So it's a lot quieter. There's not like people who are doing like construction on the hospital aren't there. Administration's not there. Med students aren't there. Oh my gosh, med students aren't there. Like annoying, this is going to sound mean, but people who maybe don't need to be there aren't there, like as far as like visitors go.
Your great Aunt Sally.
Your great Aunt Sally is home sleeping where she should be.
You didn't want her there anyway.
You didn't want her there anyway. You were just being nice.
She was just being supportive.
So it's quieter. The hospital overall is quieter. You make more money.
That is true.
Because you're awake all night. You're slightly shortening your life. They're going to pay you more money for it.
What is your shift differential on your unit?
It's about $6 per hour more.
Whoa.
Yeah. But then if you work like a nighttime weekend, you get a weekend differential on top of your night shift differential. And then if you're the charge nurse, you get a charge nurse weekend night shift differential. You're like living that differential life. Yes.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It adds up for sure. Yeah.
Like
you end up making almost $10 more an hour.
Nice.
Than you normally would.
And then if you do that consistently, that definitely
adds up. So more money. Money.
I would say too, in your daily life, night shifts are going to help you be the best at parties.
Yes, you're the best at parties.
You're going to be the best at parties. You're in Vegas. Everyone else is so tired. They're going back to their hotel room. No, we're not. No. We're never going home.
There are 4 hours left on our shift.
We are staying up until the break of dawn.
The break of dawn.
And then we're getting drinks at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because
that's normal.
That's fine.
That's actually one of my favorite activities after a night shift is like when you get a group of like people that you just worked with together to go to brunch, and then you're like pounding mimosas, and then like the people who are working and like other like day people are there, and they're just like looking at you like, are they okay?
It's 8 a.m.
It's 8 a.m.
And you're like, these are after work drinks.
This is nighttime for me. Like I'm here. This is a nighttime mimosa. This is a nighttime drink right now.
Where are the tequila shots? I don't want a mimosa.
Yeah, I don't want a mimosa. I want a margarita. It's a nighttime drink.
I would say, too, I have a few young children, and working nights was really helpful for me because I could get home, get off of my shift, get them to school, sleep while they're at school, and then I'm fresh and ready to go by the time they're home. And I honestly feel like I saw my kids, my family almost more when I was working nights. I did give up a little bit of sleep, which you do anyway.
Yeah, you're a parent. You don't sleep anyway.
Yeah, but I feel like we had a very good groove with that where I just saw them more. We had the evenings together, just
do the homework thing, the bedtime thing.
Yeah, it worked out really well for me as a young mom.
I really love that.
Oh, thank you.
That's a perk that I don't know about.
Yeah. Your dogs just sleep whenever.
They don't care. They're like, oh, you're home? Perfect.
Do you feel like when you're on night shift, it gets to be like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., and at that point, you're just like, well, I'm not sleeping. Like, we're just going to keep on going.
Absolutely.
We've met for yoga a few times after night shift.
I've fallen asleep during yoga after night shift.
And you feel fine, and you feel like you're just your heart's just going to keep going. You're just going to be conscious for the rest of your life.
Forever.
And then you hit Shavasana, and you are out.
There has actually been times where you have woken me up because I was snoring in Shavasana.
I pushed you over because you snored so loud in front of all those people that were just trying to meditate.
Can I tell you how terrifying waking up like that is? Like just this jarring, like, oh, hi.
Where am I?
Hi.
Is this a safe place?
Erika, was I farting? Like that's, like I was so scared.
Hey, I would never tell you.
That is
Years
a time
of training has
that,
taught me that I
you
would never tell you.
In that instance, I consent to you telling me if I farted.
I
I
would never
want
tell
to
you.
know. Did I or didn't I? I will never know. Look at her face right now. She's never gonna tell me. Oh, some people during night shifts will sleep. They'll take like their lunch break, and instead of go and eat lunch, they'll like take half hour. Did you ever do that?
No, it was too hard. If I go to sleep, because once you finally do sleep, you sleep hard. And there is no amount of anything that's getting me up before the 6-hour mark. So I could not do like the nappy night shift thing.
I
It
tried it once.
It's
never again.
My method was water, caffeine, grilled cheese sandwiches, more caffeine. Just keep doing it. And I'm fine. My heart is in tip-top shape.
Tip-top shape. I think, so this kind of brings me to another thing, is a lot of people talk about how like shift work and like night shifts make you like an unhealthier person in general. Like people I think I've talked about night shift to people and they're like, oh, I don't want to gain weight. Do you like gain weight on night shift? Do you feel like you had struggled with that at all?
I read a study on this and it did say, I mean, there's a lot of sleep studies and you could probably find whatever matches your thoughts.
What you want to know.
But I did read a study that said that you can catch up on sleep, it was great. It was great to hear that.
That makes me feel a lot better.
The most detrimental type of sleep is when you fall asleep and are abruptly woken up.
Like you did in yoga.
And like when you have a new baby that's just waking you up all night. That's more damaging to your health than
just getting 8 hours of sleep after you
just stay up for 3 days and then sleep for 5. It's fine. You'll be fine.
Perfect.
Trust me, I'm a nurse.
Trust me, I'm a medical professional.
Somebody fact check that.
Immediately. I've been seeing a lot of memes lately about like how hard it is to have a nurse as your mom.
Yes.
How hard it is. Yeah. I would love to ask. They're not here. What do you think? Like, why do you think that is?
So from their perspective, so here's an example. We were at the pool and this girl gets dizzy. She passes out. She like dramatically crumbles to the ground. Everybody, all the lifeguards run to her. My little sister is like, oh my gosh, is she okay? And I'm like, she just needs to drink some water.
She's some water. She's some fluids.
She's fine. And that's the same with my kids. We're like, oh, I have a stomach ache. You're fine. It's okay.
It's okay.
Do you want to go I threatened them. I said, do you want to go to the doctor? And they're going to poke you and look at you and look at your stomach and poke at it. And is that what you want? No. You're fine.
So then at what point when they're not fine, like when is that line? What is that?
It's a blurry line, but that line, when I know something's serious and I'm at my house, I want my code light. I want my code light button that I can push so that we can run to the OR and have whatever happened resolved in under 10 minutes. And so instead, it's me just trying to act very calm and gathering everyone in the car and driving the thing. But it's either nothing or it's an emergency.
Right.
Those are the two options with me.
Well, and that's kind of how it is in real life, right? Like I think that people who aren't around emergencies a lot get kind of, or people who are around emergencies a lot get kind of jaded to what constitutes as an emergency and what does not.
Yeah. A stomach ache? I don't know. That one's a hard one. But I will say we do not go to the ED unless I truly think that it's.
I have often told my husband, you will not take me to the emergency room unless I am unconscious.
Yeah.
You will take me to the emergency room over my unconscious body.
Yeah. Because then you'll get in faster.
Yeah. Because then I will get in faster. I'll have to wait in triage. They'll get to me. I'll have what I need done. And if I cannot refuse to go to the emergency room, then I must have needed to be there.
Also, I'll come over and start an IV on you.
Thank you.
So that part's already done.
I will also make you that promise.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's really good to have nursing friends.
Yes, absolutely.
For things like this.
Absolutely. Do you feel like nurses I've also heard this from other sources, that nurses make terrible patients.
Yes.
Do you feel that?
I was a fine patient. I've only been in the hospital to have babies, really. But We have this friend who is the worst patient because you try to do anything to her and she will ask you why. Is it necessary? How are you going to do it? What are your credentials? How long have you been doing this? I feel like you deserve that as
Right.
putting your time and effort into the healthcare system. You deserve at least that back
Right.
as a patient, but it's incredibly irritating.
It's so irritating to be taking care of that person. It's
Yeah.
just like, no, I fell off the turnip truck today and this is my first time. I actually am not even a nurse. I just am here.
And then I would be like, you don't get to touch me.
No.
You may go. I'll place my own IV. Thank you.
You're dismissed.
Yeah. Go ahead and just get out of
Go
here.
away. I should have waited till I was unconscious. I bet people who take it, I've actually never been hospitalized for anything, but I bet people would be happier if I were unconscious.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Knowing
I'd be kind
you
of
as well as I do, I think that's probably accurate.
Erika, this has been so much fun.
I had a great time.
I am so happy that you got to come out here, come to my home, eat some charcuterie board, and just, talk to me about what it means to you to be a nurse.
I love it. Thank you for inviting me. I had a great time.
Anytime. And if you need an IV, I'm happy to give you one on the way out.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You have stuff here? Always? Perfect.
Always, constantly. I stole most of it.
It's one of the most honest professions in all the professions.
I didn't steal anything.